All right, part 2, talking about EBT and SNAP. Let's talk about it. Let's do a thought experiment. If SNAP was canceled completely, would your tax burden go down? No, it would not. The U.S. government inflates the currency as it wishes. Yes, we can get technical about it, that the Federal Reserve is the lender of last resort if they can't sell bonds to the general public or to public institutions. And so the Federal Reserve will create the currency and buy the bond. That still inflates the currency. They always overspend. In fact, if they don't overspend, there's going to be a major contraction. There'll be a deflation. Which, yeah, if we had a responsible government, let deflation happen. That's not going to happen. The recipients of SNAP are not robbing you. The U.S. government robs you. It robs you with taxes. It robs you with inflation. How many of you were laid off during the Rona pandemic, all the lockdowns, and how many of you got that $600 a month unemployment check? Not $600 a month, $600 a week unemployment check. Did you take it? Are you a thief? How many of you didn't get that, but you got the little stimulus, the $600 stimulus here, and I think there was a $1,200 stimulus. How many of you took that? Are you a thief? No, you're not. The robbery already happened. And the government inflates the currency. For once in a great while, they inflated the currency and paid it out to some of the citizens as opposed to paying it out to the corporate buddies. And the corporate buddies made out hand over fist. Rich motherfuckers got richer during the Rona lockdown. Big wealth transfer. But you want to fight with poor people on EBT. Now I know, I already said in my previous video, there is a subpopulation on the EBT who totally dependent on the welfare system and handouts and buggering other people for help. They don't know any better. It doesn't make it right. Just a fact. They don't know any better. And there's other people who were able-bodied but got in a bad habit of taking too much help. And now they're addicted to it, for lack of a better term. That's real. There's also other people who are just broken. You know, they're disabled. They're too old. They can't work. They're on a fixed income, and they need help. It's not their fault that rents keep going up. It's not their fault the currency keeps getting devalued. Just get another job. Just get another job. Okay, you can work 2 jobs. You can work 3 jobs. You be proud of the fact that you don't have a fucking day off. You be proud of the fact you don't have an hour to spend with your kids or to enjoy your hobbies or anything that people used to enjoy here in America. It doesn't have to be this way. You know, there's more than enough wealth for everyone who wants to work 1 job and have some time off and have their needs met and afford to live. We have collective Stockholm syndrome. We've gotten used to everything becoming illegal, everything becoming more expensive, everything having red tape. The government continually becoming more oppressive, generally speaking. They let up a little bit on marijuana. It's Stockholm syndrome. You're used to it. You're used to being captive. Used to being treated like shit. You're used to having just work all the harder to just to pedal harder to stay where you are. You're used to having to just swim harder and harder just to tread water. And if you see someone getting something that you tread hard for just to keep your head above water, and they're not fighting as strong as you are, then you have a problem with it. In other words, if you're struggling, you gave up steak in order to pay your rent. And there's someone out there who doesn't work as much as you getting a piece of steak. You have to be better than them. They have to be doing worse than you. You get mad because someone's going to McDonald's with their SNAP. You know what? It's their fucking fault if they run out of SNAP money before the month's out because they blew it at McDonald's. Right? You know, there could be wise things to do. You can get yourself some staples like some rice and some canned veg and whatever, some canned meat, and you could make yourself and some spices and make yourself something. And you know, that'd be great, but something filling and nutritious, hopefully kind of interesting. And there are ways to stretch the dollar out more than just buying expensive cuts of meat or McDonald's or whatever. I get it. I know that. What's this whole need to mind someone else's pocket and someone else's business? Are you being fed? Are you working too goddamn hard to keep your head above water? Then why are you mad at the poor person who has EBT? Your government's fucking you over. And the corporate actors are fucking you over. Wages don't keep up with inflation. And wages should be much higher. We're so much more productive, collectively speaking, now than we were, 50 years ago. But the wages suck. There's more than enough wealth for every citizen in America who works to not have to bust their ass 80, 100 hours a week. You can if you want to, if you're self-employed or something, that's often a thing. I get it, to get your business off the ground, but why does life have to be expensive as an incentive to be excellent so that you could earn the right to have an apartment? Earn the right to have a modest house? We turn the housing, the shelter that we live in, shelter has become a speculative asset. And you have people like buying, the trailer park used to be the place where working class people could have some kind of solo shelter, right, on a little piece of land. And now people, of course, buying up the trailer parks because they tolerate rent increases really well. It's definitely an investment opportunity. Because it's too fucking expensive to pick up the trailer and move it somewhere else. And there's people out there, just buy rental properties. That way you pass on your cost of living to other people. There we go. You don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun someone else to have the bear catch them instead. You're cold-hearted. You're short-sighted. You don't see that it doesn't have to fucking be this way. And you're more concerned with making sure that someone else is worse off than you than whether you actually have a fair shake at things. I'm proud of the fact that I work 2 full-time jobs. It's great. I love not being around my family. I love not having hobbies, and I love not having, anything in life but work. That way I can pay my rent and eat and maybe squeeze in a little sleep. It's great. Really? You're really proud of that? Look, it's not wrong to work 2 full-time jobs. I used to work 70 hours a week. I used to work 50 hours at my primary job, and I worked 20 hours on the weekend. After my divorce, I just need to make ends meet. I bought a car. I was paying off my ex-wife's car. I had to pay my rent, take care of my cats. Life for me for a while was just work. I get it. You do what you got to do. It didn't occur to me, though, to hate someone else who didn't have to work as much as me. If EBT ended today, your tax burden would not go down. And it's interesting to me because if some of these people, again, there's a subset of a subset who might be riotous if they don't get their EBT. And you'd gladly pay for their incarceration for rioting, even though it's a hell of a lot more expensive than just giving them food. You'd rather pay collectively, $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month to keep them in prison than you would to give them $400 a month to buy food. We do have problems, and we do have a problem. There's a chronic societal problem where there are some people who can't even conceive of going to work for their living. I understand that. You have bigger fucking problems than poor people getting some handouts. Whether they, even if they're undeserving poor, you have bigger problems than that. Your problem is that, you are working 2 full-time jobs, and you still can't make ends meet. That speculating in housing has driven up the price of housing. It does not have to be that way. Housing could be affordable. It could be totally fucking affordable. But you don't want it to be, because if you happen to have a house, I worked hard for this. I'm paying off my mortgage. I've got equity. Why do you care about the equity you have in your house? You care about the equity because you hope one day for your retirement to dump it to fund your retirement and move out and maybe move to a warmer climate or something. Sunny Florida. The Bahamas, whatever. St. Thomas. Virgin Islands. About your days. Because you buy a house not to live in it, but to use it as a speculative asset. And so everyone's like, oh, it hurts property value. We don't like that. It's an eyesore. It hurts property values. A property value should be cheap. Housing is not meant for speculation. It's meant to be lived in. If you actually put down roots in a place you want to live and connect with people, then you stay there. And instead of reacting to the high cost of living by dumping your house, you have a community of people who help you. But no one has community. We're all a bunch of fucking strangers living next to each other. Nobody loves each other. Yeah, you might wave, you might smile, maybe trade some cookies once in a while. But you don't have a community. It's a feedback loop of disassociation, of desperation. I don't care if someone is on EBT. I don't care if they spend it at McDonald's if the state allows it. It's their fucking problems, not mine. If they blow through it in a week, well, too fucking bad. You could have bought beans and rice. Instead, you bought McDonald's. So fuck you. We're in such deep shit because we're so fucking diverse. And I mean, culturally speaking, we have nothing in common. There's no agreement on how to be, what to do, how to live, and so on. We're all at each other's throats. Everyone wants to fight each other. What is America? In theory, yeah, you could all our founding documents and our founding mythology, but present day, it's just a lucrative loot dungeon. It's the land of the opportunist if you know how to exploit it. A bunch of people climbing on top of each other to get ahead. How dare you buy something I can't afford? Really? Because, the government cancel EBT, cancel all assistance to anybody. Okay, you're not going to get an extra dollar in your paycheck. Your tax burden is not going to go down. And the looting of America will continue. And you can continue hating your neighbor for buying food with food stamps. Instead of hating the people who are fucking you over, which is a whole bunch of people on the Epstein client list who don't care about you. They care about really rich assholes. And they run your government. And they run your corporations. And they run your whole fucking civilization. I think you should direct your anger away from your neighbor and towards the people who are fucking with you. If you're going to be angry. Now, I think the system's doomed. It will eventually collapse on itself, sooner or later. It runs all on electricity and on computers, an extremely fragile electrical grid. Eventually will poop out. So you can start building an alternative now. Or if you think you can seize the reins of power, if you think you can, go. Good luck to you. I don't think it's possible, but it's better. If you're going to fight somebody, it's better than fighting poor people who buy food with food stamps. Personally, I think you need to outlast it. Learn to grow food. Learn to purify water. Learn to make your own fucking clothes. Actually find people that you actually like and get along with. Genuinely like and care about you, and maybe have a real community of people. I don't have one. But maybe you can. I'm an autistic freak show. I can't make meaningful relationships. Neurotypical people are so frustrating to deal with. But you, as a neurotypical, with a little wisdom, can do a hell of a lot better than me. My name's Steve. I got a boulder of shit with my name on it and a hill to climb. I'm out of here.